Okay, so today we will discuss about the time harmonic fields. Okay, so we have discussed how the fields will vary with respect to time, but the time variation, how it is happening. So that is one type of time variation is based on the harmonic fields. That is harmonic variation. Time harmonic fields. So what is meant by harmonics? You have studied in your earlier courses also. So there will be a fundamental frequency and then twice, thrice of that frequencies. Those are all called as harmonics. Similarly, this one sinusoidal wave, just if I represent this one sinusoidal wave, which will be having one fundamental frequency or one frequency. Similarly, if you have some multiple frequencies, multiple sinusoidal signals, so that also can be possible like this. So this will contain multiple frequencies, but we need to extract what are all the harmonics of this or any other frequencies also if it is there. Generally harmonic fields means it will be multiples of the fundamental frequency. So this is, if you take the f1 as a fundamental frequency, we will be having multiples of that fundamental frequency. So those are called as harmonic fields. That is harmonic waves, so harmonic frequencies. So now today we will discuss what actually these harmonic fields, how we can apply this harmonic waves or the frequencies or the harmonic terms to our electromagnetic fields. Okay. So now as we have seen, so this sinusoidal wave which is periodic. Okay. So with respect to time, so it is periodic. And as I said, so this period, so we can define from one peak to other peak. So these fundamental things, so we know already. So this type of variation, if it is there in the field, so then how we can analyze those fields and how we can obtain the parameters. So now even not only sinusoids, even we can have the triangulars, so waves or sawtooth waves, even square waves. So many other most of the other waveforms can be used. So that actually we have studied the Fourier analysis to analyze those frequencies. Okay. So Fourier analysis, how we can able to find out the Fourier components and all. So that Fourier analysis we have used. So we have already studied that periodic and non-periodic signals, how the transformation can be applied to this periodic and non-periodic signals. So now by using this Fourier analysis, we can analyze what are the harmonics or different types of waveforms, and its harmonics can be analyzed. So now this sinusoids generally we will express in terms of its magnitude, phase. Okay. So because the phase is very important, which will carry some information. So when we send it from one place to other place. So that's why these sinusoids can be expressed in the phasor form. So that phasor form, it will be very useful in our EM fields. So now we will see what actually this phasor form, how we can express this phasor form. So we already know the phasors can be, nothing but a complex number, so it will be represented as a magnitude and phase. So we will see, just for a minute, what are the complex number, what are the properties we can see. So these complex numbers, so as I said, which contains amplitude and the phase of a sinusoidal signal. So now we can express that complex number, so which is equal to x plus iy. So that we already know. So where I or j we can use. So the imaginary part, so this I equal to square root of -1. So this I is also can be expressed as j. Many people will express in terms of j or I. Okay. So let us take x plus j y, and in the phasor form we can express it as r into e power j phi. So where r is the magnitude and phi is the phase. Or even we can express this as r into cos pi plus j sin pi. Okay. So this is also one of the representation where r is the magnitude and this one is represents the waves with phase phi. So now in this, whatever the form which will be called it as rectangular form, and this will be called it as polar form. So this one is the rectangular form and this is the polar form. Okay, so now here in the rectangular form, so x is the real part and this one is the imaginary part, and in this polar form this r is the magnitude and phi is the phase. So now if we express the magnitude of this one, so let us take z equal to x plus jy. So now if I represent the magnitude of z, which is nothing but the square root of x square plus y square. So this we know already, and phi also we can represent, so that the imaginary part, this is a magnitude, and phase we can find out by using tan inverse of y by x. So this we know already, and even so this we can represent it as the angle of z or the phase of z. So now we can see, so even we can write this in the vector form, so where we have x and y, and this will be r, and where this will be the angle of phi with respect to the r, and we have the angular frequency omega, which we can represent it as radians per second. So now we can, so whenever we have the two complex numbers, let us take z1 and z2. Okay, so now z1 which is equal to x plus x1 plus jy1, z2 which is equal to x2 plus jy2. Okay, so now if we have this z1 z2, the properties of these complex numbers, which we can do some operations, that by using this so the complex numbers, so whenever we do the operations, so we need to careful, so by doing that operations, that is, so when we have to use this rectangular form and when we have to use this polar form, we need to know. So now for addition and subtraction, it is very easy in rectangular form. Okay, so you need to for addition and subtraction, so you need to use this rectangular form. So if I just take z1 plus z2, which we can write it as x1 plus x2 plus j y1 plus y2, and similarly z1 minus z2, so we can write it as, so x1 minus x2 plus j y1 minus y2. Okay, so that is what we going to get. If you want to use the multiplication and division, okay, so you need to use the polar form. Okay, so the polar form is nothing but, so let us take z1 z2, so the polar form is we will having, so let us take in the polar form r1 into e power j phi 1 and z2 which is equal to r2 into e power j phi 2. Okay, so now if I take multiplication of this one, r1 r2 into, so angle should be added. Okay, so the angle should be added, and similarly z1 by z2 we can do, that is r1 by r2, and angle should be subtracted. Okay, so this is what, so the multiplication and division, so you have to perform the operation on the complex numbers. So even we have the square root. Okay, so if you take the square root of z, so that should be in the polar form, so we can take square root of magnitude, and the angle you should divided by 2. So that we have to do square root, and also we have complex conjugate, that is, so inverse the sign, that is, so if I have the z, if I take the complex conjugate of z, so which is nothing but, so x minus jy. So if I z which will be having x plus jy, its complex conjugate should be x minus jy. And also in the terms of the polar, we can represent it as r at an angle minus phi. So these are all the some of the operations we can use for the complex numbers. Now, so we will introduce the angle phi. So within the phi variation, some time variation, that is, so phi we can represent it as omega t plus theta. Okay, where theta and omega, so both are the function of time, and also we can have a space coordinates, that is function of space coordinates, or it may be directly specified as a constant sum, so some angle like 20 degree 30 degree like that. So now if I write the polar form r into e power j phi, so in terms of this phi, so we can write r into e power j omega t into e power j theta. Okay, so now we can write the real part of this one. Okay, so the real part of r into e power j phi, which is nothing but r into cos of omega t plus theta. So this combinedly we can write omega t plus theta, so whatever phi which we have replaced. So the real part we can write like this, and imaginary part of this one, so this will be in terms of the sine, that is r sine of omega t plus theta. So now if I represent some sign, the current or voltage, so let us take the current, so which is variation of the sinusoidal variation, which is having I naught into cos of omega t plus theta. So this is the magnitude and this is the wave, which is cosine wave, which will be having a sinusoidal current. So that current variation is a sinusoidal variation. So now we can, so this is nothing but, so if I represent complete wave, which is nothing but I naught into e power j omega t into e power j theta. So this is the complete one. So the real part of this one is this one, whatever we have represent, and similarly the imaginary part of, so this wave, which is we can write it as I naught sin omega t plus theta. So this is what the imaginary part, and we can have this is real part. Okay, so this we can represent like this. So even, so this imaginary part, so since the sign is, so we can write it as the cos of 90 alpha minus 90, so that also we can write it as this imaginary part. Okay, so even we can write it as in terms of I naught e power j omega t into e power j theta into e power minus j 90. So just we are multiplying, so the 90 degree here. So this, so as I said, so sin alpha can be written as cos of alpha minus 90. So this we can write, so the current wave we can write like this. So now we have done these mathematical operations, we can use that either real part or imaginary part. Okay, so even at the, whenever we use, so both the parts we cannot use at the same time, only one, so real part or imaginary part we can take and we can solve the problem. So now the complex term, so which is I naught into e power j theta, so where we have this I naught into e power j theta, so which is actually, so I naught into e power j theta. So if I take this one, we drop this e power j omega t, so that is nothing but the, which is called as phasor current. So that is, so whenever we take the complete wave, so I naught into e power j omega t into e power j theta. Now if I remove this term and we can represent this I naught e power j omega t is nothing but Is, we can call it as, so that we can call it as the phasor term. Okay, I naught into e power j theta. So this we can call it as the phasor current. Okay, so this will be called it as phasor current, and we can represent this one as Is, which is equal to I naught into e power j theta, or we can write in the polar form I naught at an angle theta. Okay, so here as I said, so this S is important, this is represents the phasor current. Okay, so or we can write the phasor form. So this is complete, if I take this as a complete wave I of t, the phasor of I of t, which is nothing but Is, which is equal to I naught into e power j theta. Okay, so now even if we want instantaneous value, so that is the complete with respect to time also, if I represent the instantaneous value, or we can write I of t in terms of the phasor form. So that is, so if I take this real part of this one, I real part of t, we can write this real part of I of t in the phasor form, which is nothing but, so the real part of this Is into e power j omega t. So now we have represented the Is in terms of I naught into e power j theta, and if we multiply e power j omega t, so we'll get the real part of the I of t. Okay, so that real part we can write it as, so this is actually the complete wave I of t where we have represented. So real part means, so we can write this, so I naught into cos of omega t plus theta. Okay, so in the phasor form we can write like this. So I of t, in general if we only represent the, so the real part as I of t, then we can write like this. Okay, so similarly we can write for the voltage wave also. So now in general, so if we take any quantities like, so any, like whatever we take any vector, let us take vector a, so which is a function of the coordinates x, y, z and also the t, the time variation. So now let us take this as a time harmonic field. Okay, so let us take this as a time harmonic field, and the phasors can be represented by using this, which is x comma y comma z. So since if we see the phasor form, it is, so we are excluded the e power j omega t term. So the phasor can be excluded by time, and we can write it as this as of x comma y comma z. Okay, so now we can write this a, which is nothing but the real part of as into e power j omega t. Okay, so that is what we can write the phasor form. And if we can take example, which is a equal to a naught cos of omega t minus beta x, so in the direction of ay or az, whatever it is. So now we can represent this, the vector a, in the phasor form, which we can write. So completely the wave can be represented in terms of the time dependence. We can write that this is nothing but real part of a naught into e power j omega t into e power j beta x. So this is what we can write. So now if we want to write the phasor form, so as, which is nothing but a naught into e power j beta x. So without time variation we can write the phasor. Okay, so that is what, so we can represent how, so we are going to get this one. So now if I just take the differentiation of this one, okay, so because we will get in our Maxwell's equation the differentiation, and also so sometimes we need to integrate also. So if I take this a, okay, and differentiate it, del a by del t, which is equal to, so del by del t of the real part of as into e power j omega t. So if I take this one and differentiate with respect to t, what you will get? You will get j omega, okay, into the real part of as into e power j omega t. So that means, so this del a by del t, which is nothing but, so we can represent this complete term as the phasor representation. So we can multiply the phasor by j omega. If I differentiate this a, we can write it as the multiplication of j omega term into a phasor. Okay, so now this time derivative of this, whatever the instantaneous quantity, so it is nothing but equivalent to multiplying j omega to the phasor as. And similarly if I integrate a with respect to t, okay, so this we can write it as the phasor form divided by j omega. So this is a differentiation and this is the integration term. So now, so we have choose the real part, so and also imaginary part. So how we can, so even we have represented only the real part. So now similarly we can take, so this one only real part we have taken. Similarly we can take imaginary part by taking sin of omega t minus beta x. So that is also possible. So now we can write the time harmonic fields for the Maxwell's. So how we can able to write? So now even the instantaneous is instantaneous value. So this, if we take complete instantaneous value, it is a time dependent. So in the instantaneous value we are taking the term e power j omega t. So that time dependent, and also it is if we can take the magnitude which is real. Okay, so but the phasor is time variant, it is there, and generally which is a complex in nature. So now if we take, instead of directly taking the problem in terms of the time dependence, so we'll just take the phasor variations and we can try to do the problem, and finally if you multiply with e power j omega t, so that will give the time harmonic fields. So that's why it is easy to take. So E, H, whatever j, and then b, and then so other terms which is rho v. So all these are time dependent. So if I take the time harmonic fields, these are all dependent on the time, but we can take only the phasors with respect to particular coordinates, and then finally, so if I want the instantaneous value, we can multiply the e power j omega t term, so that we can get the solution finally for these different parameters. So now if I see the Maxwell's equation in time harmonic form, okay, Maxwell's equation in time harmonic form or time harmonic fields. Okay, so if I take the point form, so these are all, so it will be remain as it is, but we only represent in terms of the phasor form, that is del dot ds. ds is a phasor form, we will get it as rho vs. So this is, so if I take the time dependent of this, then we have to multiply e power j omega t in this term. Okay, so similarly integral form, so we are going to get, so integral of ds dot ds, which is equal to rho vs dot t. So this is what the integral form, and similarly we have del dot bs, which is equal to 0, and similarly integral of, so b dot, that is bs dot ds, which is equal to 0. So now here del cross es, so which is phasor, and we can write it as minus j omega into vs. So now we can see here, so del cross es, which is nothing but, so minus mu into, so that is, so if I use the earlier equation and if we can represent in the phasor, so this will going to get, but we are not expressing, so that e power j omega t terms from all these one, it is taken out. Okay, so because we are representing only time harmonic field in terms of the phasors, so if I want instantaneous value for all these terms, we have to multiply e power j omega t. Okay, so that is es dot dl. So also we can write this one minus j omega into, so integral ds dot ds, and similarly del cross hs, so which is nothing but js plus j omega ds. Okay, and similarly in the integral form we can write it as hs dot dl, so which is equal to, so integral js plus j omega ds into ds. So now you can see here, if the medium which is source free or the current is 0, then we can leave this js term and we can directly solve this del cross h by using this ds, or so ds, which is nothing but epsilon naught es, we can substitute that and we can solve the problem whenever there is a source free region, or so the medium which is source free. Okay, so as I said, in all these terms we are representing only in the phasor terms, that is which represents the phasor terms. If I want instantaneous values, we have to multiply all these terms by e power j omega t. Okay, so this is what the time harmonic fields of the Maxwell's equation. So now we can just do one problem based on this, by using only the phasors, how we can able to obtain the parameters. Okay, so now let us take this problem, so where we have the h and e which is given. So any doubt in this? Hello? Anybody, any doubt? Okay, so let us do one problem, so based on the phasors. So let us move to the problem and we'll try to do that problem. So finally if I want instantaneous value, just whatever the obtained fields E and H or whatever the parameter, multiply by e power j omega t, you will going to get the instantaneous value. So now take this problem. Okay, so we have the electric and magnetic fields are given, which is equal to 50 by rho cos of 10 power 6 t plus beta z into a pi volt per meter, and h which is equal to h naught by rho into cos of 10 power 6 t plus beta z into a rho ampere per meter. So now express this in terms of phasor, express these fields in terms of phasor form. Okay, and also find h naught and beta. So we don't know beta and we don't know h naught, so try to find out. So when we express this in terms of phasor form, we can able to try, we can find out the constant beta and h naught by using this phasor terms of the Maxwell's equation. So now we can see how we can able to find this one. So now we can represent this E in terms of the phasors. So E we can represent, so this is a total field of this real part of, so the ES into e power j omega t. So this we already know how we can represent phasor with respect to the instantaneous value, and we can have h which is equal to real part of hs into e power j omega t. So now this ES, so which is nothing but only the phasor term, which is equal to 50 by rho into, so e power j beta z. So that is in terms of a phi. So we have already E which is equal to 50 by rho cos of 10 power 6 t plus beta z in terms of a pi. So this is what actual E. So now this is only the real part which is there, that is cos term. So that's why we are representing real part of e power es into e power j omega t. So this complete E we can represent it as, so that is a real part of, so that is 50 by rho into, so e power j, so that is omega t, that is 10 power 6 t into, so plus j plus beta z, so into e, so this is e power j omega t, and okay, so into e power j beta z. So that is what we can write. So this here, so this is complete the phasor form. Okay, so omega t we are taking out 10 power 6 t, so that will corresponds to e power omega t, and e power j beta z and 50 by rho. So this is what only the phasor term, that is es term. So this is only the es term, and e power j omega t, that is 6 power t, that is what our e power j omega t term. E power s term is 50 by rho into e power j beta z. So in general we are representing that one. So e power j beta z, so 50 by rho. So this is what the es. So in this total term we are taking only the phasor term. Okay, and similarly the phasor term of h s, which is equal to h naught by rho into e power j beta z. So this is in the direction of rho. Okay, so that is what we are going to get. So now it is a free space, so we have rho v equal to 0 and sigma equal to 0, so epsilon equal to epsilon naught and mu equal to mu naught. So let us take that and we will apply the Maxwell's equation. So these two Maxwell's equation, so we will apply and we will going to find out the h naught and beta. So now that del cross hs, okay, so or del cross h, so first we will apply del cross h, which is equal to sigma e, so that is nothing but j plus epsilon naught into del e by del t. So this del d by del t we are replacing epsilon naught e. So earlier we know just del H equal to J plus del D by del T. So this is the standard equation. We are putting J equal to sigma E and D equal to epsilon naught E. Okay. So now we can write, so this one, so Hs in the phasor form. So since sigma is 0, so this term will go to 0. So this we can write it as del cross H, which is equal to, now if I differentiate Es one time with respect to time, so what we will going to get? So let us take this E itself, because so we are having here E. Okay. So differentiate with respect to t one time, we will going to get j omega term. So that is j omega, so epsilon naught, it is already there, and so we will get again, so the real part of Es into, so e power j omega. So this is what we are going to get, and we can write that, so in terms of j omega epsilon naught into Es. Only the phasor term if I take, so since we are taking only the phasor term, so we can represent like this, del cross H. So this is one equation. So let us take this one, equation 1. Okay. So now this phasor terms we can take it as, so equation 1 and equation 2, and this one will take it as equation 3. So now similarly we can write the del cross E, so which is nothing but, so minus del B by del T. So that we, from the standard equation, it is minus del B by del T. So now if I take the phasor term del cross Es, which is equal to, so we'll substitute, so which is mu equal to mu naught, which is given mu into H. So that we can substitute for B. So this will going to give del, so H by del T. Okay. So now this H we already know, so this is nothing but this one. So again if I differentiate with respect to this, we will going to get j omega into, so as it is this equation. So we will going to get minus j omega into mu naught, okay, into Hs. So in the phasor form we can write this one. So let us take this one, equation number 4. So now, so we know already the equation Hs. So we will take this del cross Hs. Okay. So try to find out the value of this del cross Hs by putting the Hs value. So this we know already in the cylindrical, because it is rho, phi and z cylindrical coordinates. We will have the cylindrical values, that is 1 by rho, a rho. So this is a cross product, and we can have rho a phi, a z. Now we have only the rho component. Substitute the H, only the rho component. So we are going to get del by del rho, del by del phi, del by del z, and the rho component is H naught by rho into e power j beta z, and other two terms are 0. Now find out what is this del cross H it will give. Okay. So this will going to give, so you can see 1 by rho, we can take out, as it is outside it will be there. So now a rho term, which is 0, because both are multiplication 0, and rho a pi, so minus rho into a pi. So this will give del by del rho into 0, it will give 0. Again it will give del by del z of H naught by rho into e power j beta z. So this is second term, and third term az component you can see here. So del by del rho into 0, it will give 0, and del by del phi of this one. So since there is no phi variation, this term will also become 0. Okay, so only we left out with this one. So this is what your del cross Hs. So what you will going to get? So rho will get cancelled. So this is actually minus, because we are taking, so this minus this, so we'll get minus this one. So minus into minus, you will going to get plus. So now differentiate with respect to z, you will going to get j beta H naught by rho into e power j beta z in the direction of a phi. So that is what del cross Hs will going to get it. Okay. So now you can take, so this equation 3, so we'll substitute this del cross Hs, this one, and Es also we know, so we'll substitute that Es. So what you will going to get? So now del cross Hs we will going to, so substitute in this equation, which is j beta h naught by rho into e power j beta z a pi, which is equal to j omega epsilon naught. So es we can substitute here 50 by rho e power j beta z in the direction of a pi. So now we can, so this e power j beta z cancel each other, both the terms, and rho will get cancel each other. So we'll going to get, so j, so we'll get cancel, and we'll going to get h naught, so h naught into beta, which is equal to omega epsilon naught into 50. So this is what we're going to get, and if I substitute that one, so we will going to get this equation. So we'll call this one something like equation 5. So now similarly, so this equation you take, so that is del cross es which is equal to, so minus j omega mu naught hs. Okay, now hs which is already known, but we need to find out what is del cross es. Okay, so again same, use that, so this cross product equation, and you can find out the del cross es. So that actually it will give the del cross es, which is minus, so j beta 50 divided by rho into e power j beta z in the direction of arrow. Okay, so this is what del cross es we are going to get. Use the same equation like this, put the es, so in terms of phi, so phi direction es you have to put, and then you have to find out, so this will going to get it, and this will be equal to again minus j omega mu naught, so we can find out what is hs, which is h naught by rho into e power j beta z in the direction of arrow. So now we can cancel, so the terms which are, so cancel each other, so j also will get cancelled, and we are going to get, so that is h naught omega mu naught, so which is equal to 50 times beta. Okay, so or we can write h naught by beta, which is equal to, so 50 by omega into mu naught. So this we can take it as equation 6. Okay, so now you can see, if you multiply the equation 5 and 6, we are going to get h naught. So that is multiply equation 5 and 6. So what we will going to get, so h naught beta, so into h naught by beta, this is left side, and we are going to get here omega epsilon naught into 50, so multiplied by 50 by omega mu naught. So this will going to get h naught square, and omega will get cancelled, so we will get 50 into 50, so this divided by, so epsilon naught by mu naught. So we can find out what is h naught, square root of, so 50 into 50 into epsilon naught mu naught. So this will give 50 square root of epsilon naught by mu naught. So we can find out what is the value of h. Okay, so now this, so square root you can take the constants and you can able to find out. So this is what the h naught, and similarly we can able to find out beta. So again divide these equations, so divide equation, so divide this equation 5 by 6, so you will going to get 5 divided by 6, so you will going to get h naught beta divided by h naught divided by beta, which is equal to omega epsilon naught into 50, so this divided by 50 by omega mu naught. So this will going to get, h naught will get cancel each other, you will going to get beta square equal to, so 50 cancel, again omega square epsilon naught mu naught. Okay, so beta which will be equal to omega into root of mu naught epsilon. So now from this, so omega we know, so here which is 10 power 6, which is given in the problem, so that you can substitute and we can find out what is beta. So that is 10 power 6 into square root of mu naught epsilon. So this constant you can put and you can able to find out beta. So that is how we can find out beta and H naught. Okay, so that we have determined the, so H naught and beta using this the phasor forms easily. So that is what, so the usage of this phasor forms. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt in this? Anybody? Hello? We'll do some more problems based on this phasor. Okay, so if you have any doubt you can ask. So otherwise we'll do in the next class some more problems based on this. Preksha, understood? Tejasvi Sharma? Hello? Sai Venkat? Sandeep? Hello? Sunil? Okay, so let us have some more problems in the next class. So wait 2 minutes.